Hello, thank you for your interest today. Dave Miller here with eMAM, our president, and I have with me Chuck Buell. He's our VP Business Development. And we're very excited to share with you some of the options you have with eMAM for packaging, delivering, sharing media from the system. And if you'd missed, we had two earlier webinars in our series, one for storage and media and one for production asset management. And happy to share with you information about those if you like, just let us know. And we'll try to answer questions. We'll answer questions at the end, unless perhaps in the middle. So you can put any questions you have in the question window. And we will record today's session. Happy to share a recording with you. But I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Chuck Buell, who's going to run over options with the system and show you how it all works together. So thanks so much for your interest, and let us know any questions you have.
All right, thanks, Dave. So we'll kind of go through the slides here, kind of discussing the ability to take the media from eMAM and then definitely deliver in different platforms and different VOD sites and social media and broadcasts and so on. But just kind of go through what eMAM is all about. We are a media asset management system. We can manage all types of media from 4K, 8K, whatever K is the latest, all the way to PowerPoints and PDFs. So we can store and manage all of that content. The system itself can also be on-prem, in the cloud, or in a hybrid environment. And then also we acquire media through live ingest as well, taking files. We organize that content, use Adobe, Avid, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, being able to produce content, share, do review and approve process, of course, as we're going to talk about today, which is more on the delivery and sharing the media. And then, of course, on the archive side, we can pretty much store locally on LTO library, spinning disk, object storage, cloud storage as well. So we pretty much manage the media processing throughout the workflows and different things for clients and customers and so on. So the interface itself, authorized users are able to then go in, look at the media, and find media and do searches on the media, no matter where the storage is. So the storage could be local, it could be in the cloud, it could be in LTO library systems or deep archive in the cloud as well. But through authorization and through permission levels and user group permissions and so on, they can access the media, be able to search on that media, use it in production and so on. And of course, as we're going to talk about, is deliver the media there as well. So with the media, of course, we can create, with the eMAM system, we can create then automated delivery profiles and different types of workflows that deliver the media to various locations. We'll talk about all the different media locations we can deliver to as well. So typically for a lot of our clients who do TV production, deliver to play out automation, news, and so on, we can build out then different types of automated workflows. So the engine that's in the background that admins and super admins have access to, be able to then create various things like buttons here, like I have a button highlighted here, or even just a metadata field that's changed, or even a date as well. So what can happen there is, like, let's say the server date is reached and a time is reached during that day. I could then trigger a delivery of media to a different platform for play out or social media and so on. So that could be completely automated. Someone could also then push a button here that I have highlighted, and that could trigger a workflow that then delivers media. And we'll also talk about sidecar metadata as well, deliver that to different locations. And then also, if somebody does select then an option within the metadata fields here, like a pull-down menu to ready for delivery and say save, it'll also then automate that delivery as well. So typically in all of our cases on ingest as well as delivery, we're using different types of media transcoders. So file-based transcoders like MOG and Capella, ATEM, telestream as well. Any kind of command line type drastic technologies we use, NetX code server, NetX code convert, to then deliver in different flavors of formats that are required. So this is the part in which we'll use transcoders to package up the media as well. So in eMAM, you can store and organize content based on caption files, audio tracks, different bugs, different lower thirds and various things. We can deliver that information to the transcoders to then package up the media. We have different workflows for that as well. And so with that, then we use the transcoders to then package up the media and send it off to the destination that we're asking to deliver to. So again, we work with these partners in various ways, and different transcoders have different options and so on. The latest we have then is MOG and Capella that we've added in this situation here as well. And then of course a TIM there and Telestream Vantage. Now, not only can we deliver the media to a specific location, we can also then do sidecar metadata with that. So any metadata that's associated with the media, that could be in a 12 labs layout, XML is basically custom and JSON is custom, and then any other specification that's required, we can take the media, take the metadata, and then insert the variables from the metadata fields that are stored with that asset and put that into a sidecar metadata file, and then be able to then take that and deliver that. So in this case here, this is like the ATEM packaging. So I could stitch together all the audio tracks, the caption files, video files, and then lower thirds and various things and bugs and so on. And then also then package up all of the metadata that's associated with that as well. But we use also this XML to do the packaging, to do the subclip. We have a rough cut editor as well. We'll talk about being able to package up that media as well. But we use this profile in the delivery profiles to be able to then package and customize that. And this becomes basically an automated feature that someone can select within the eMAM system. And so users, non-technical users can go in, they could select all the media and then hit the delivery profile. And away it goes based on the customization that the super admins and admins have built in the system. So we also have news integration as well. So we have a MOS gateway within the eMAM system that we work with companies like SNews, Avid iNews, Octopus, ENPS, where you can collect media, place it on a placeholder. Now the placeholder is created actually by the news software and a rundown. So in the rundown, a news reporter would actually add in the rundown an MOS object, and that's where maybe video is being played during their storytelling and so on the news. And then with that object, the placeholder is created inside of eMAM. Within that placeholder, editors will go in and just apply that media from Adobe, from Avid, from DaVinci, wherever it may be coming from, and add it to that placeholder, and then you hit the sync button here, and it syncs with that rundown in the news software. And so when that media then becomes available for playout, so on the news story, it'll go through the rundown and so on, the reporter's playing, and then all of a sudden the video will then start to play and so on. Well, that media has been created and delivered from eMAM over to the playout system for air. So again, we have many customers using this option with the news and the MOS gateway configuration. Okay, so on this, again, on the profile, so this is some of the back-end stuff that goes on in eMAM system where we create all these different types of profiles. So you could have stitch and deliver, you could have Morpheus here, Grass Valley, you could have cable labs configurations, you can have different XMLs or custom XMLs. You can also have segmentation as well. So the other key thing is with the segmentation is you have a television show and it runs for, I think it's now down to 24 minutes, somewhere in there, 22 minutes, and then you have commercial breaks and so on. So you can actually create segment 1, segment 2, segment 3 within the eMAM system, and then we send a notification in XML over to, say, Grass Valley, and saying, hey, here's segment 1, segment 2, and segment 3 with all the time codes and everything. And then on the playout, it'll break and then go into the ad break and then go back into segment 2, and then of course segment 3 as well. So lots of options, lots of flexibility within this delivery. And again, if the codec is not prepped as well with the media, we can then use the transcoder to also transcode that file first before it goes out. And then of course also we can just deliver duplicate delivery, which is if the codec is already set with the media that eMAM is managing, we will deliver that media in that format without changing it. And then of course also the sidecar metadata there as well. So again, this kind of gets into a little bit more details here. We can kind of give a profile name for the delivery profile, and then you select then include the media, and then of course also the sidecar, what you're including in the sidecar. So you'll check that box, and then if it's, say, Cable Labs, we have a big project using Cable Labs now, and there's very specific metadata that would be variables in that XML, and it goes in and plugs in all that metadata that's associated with the media inside of eMAM. So somebody had gone in eMAM, added all the specific metadata, or that information came in from a third-party source through an XML ingest or some CSV file or something else that is associated with the media. And then in this case here with the profile, we'll include that as and insert the variables inside the XML, and then deliver an XML file, and then of course deliver the media to the playout system and automation. Automation then takes over from there. Okay. So again, we can also deliver to CDNs as well. So you can configure where proxy files are actually uploaded and cached inside of an S3 cache for CDN. A lot of our clients use this to where people who are looking at media within the eMAM system, they may be in different countries around the world based on, say, where the region is that, like my demo system's in Virginia, and then somebody maybe from the West Coast or somebody from Asia or somebody from Europe may want to cache in that proxy, so when they do a preview, they can actually preview that media quite quickly without any delay of playback. We also can deliver in a watch folder workflow to deliver to CDNs as well that are just outside of the MAM system, and we just deliver media, and then it goes out to a CDN for playback as well. All right, so different types of OTT platforms we can deliver to as well. We just now integrated with MOG systems, which I think is now EVS, but anyways, MOG systems. So they are actually have a transcoder that we have integrated with, and you can go in and set up all these different workflows within the MOG system and add different metadata, different platforms that you're delivering to. So not only would you then transcode the media to a very specific codec that's required for the OTT or VOD site, and MOG would then transcode that file and then also take the metadata that's associated inside of eMAM and actually plug it into sidecar information and metadata. And then, of course, that then displays on the VOD side. Now, MOG Systems has a MOG a live system where they actually do VOD sites and so on. It is, of course, hosted somewhere else, like Akamai or other places and so on. But they do have options for being able to then take the media from eMAM and then go right to a hosted site and controlled and managed by MOG in their CMS that they have. We also work with Brightcove as well, so we can also deliver to Brightcove in that same workflow. All right, so again, kind of sharing the media as well. So let's say you have clients who are just looking to get a package of media to share, maybe sizzle reels, electronic press kits, just different highlight reels and so on for media, and making them available for someone to go ahead and look at and screen, and be able to preview and so on. So we can actually then select, or users inside of the eMAM director can then select media, add it to what we call the eBin, and then set permissions on that eBin link. So it's actually creating a URL to then put into a email, or just go ahead and send it into a text or whatever. But then set permissions if they're able to download it or view it. You can also put in overlays on top of that media, just for preview and so on. So of course, when they do download it, we also have options where you actually put the person's name. If they are a user in the system, their name would be across the media as well. But they have to be a user within the system. But if they're not a user and not logging into viewing the media, you can put the overlays on top of that. So, of course, they can't copy that. Well, they can copy it, but at least logos and things like that will be over the media. You can do timeouts and how often they can access it, if they can download the media. You could also give someone access to download the original content as well, if you wanted to give them that option there as well. So again, what happens with that link, they click on it and it opens up in their own browser, local browser. And with that information, then it just click on the link, and then they can actually then go as a rundown, kind of look at the media. And by the way, in the eBin, you can reorganize in the stack there of media what they can see and in what order they see it. You also have the ability to add like a PDF file or a graphic file or an audio file. It doesn't really matter. We can give you the option to select that media, put it into the eBin, and then it shows up in the rundown in the order you put it in the eBin. And so what's nice is they can click on each one of these. If they do have download capabilities, they can go ahead and download individual items, or using our desk link application, they can actually download multiple items at one time there as well. All right. So again, on that, we also can give the admins the ability to go in and look and see who did open up those links, and then how many times they opened up the link. Did they download anything? So we do offer reporting on those messages that are sent out. We store the messages inside of the database, so users can actually go back to a previous message and actually change out one of the videos, and then save it. And it'll actually then, next time they click on the link, it'll have an updated list of videos and items that they want to look at. But we do keep track of the reporting of each of those items, when they were sent out and by whom. And then if somebody did comment on those links as well, they can do that. And if they are a user within the system, they can add comments, add markers, and add subclips as well. So non-users, we don't have that capability, but they still have the ability to look at the media there as well. Okay. All right. So looking at then publishing out to social media. Okay. So this was a big deal. We tried to do this ourselves, but couldn't keep up with the APIs that were out there for all the different social media sites. So using products like SNews, Avid iNews, Octopus, Mog, Adobe, you're able to then take the media and deliver it directly to your YouTube account with metadata. So in this case here, like with Mog systems or with Adobe, you're able to add metadata, or with Mog systems, you can take metadata from eMAM and then send it out to YouTube as well. But in these applications, you're able to log in, or not log in, but actually add your account information and login information, and then be able to then put it into the different galleries and channels and various things, depending on the different platforms you deliver to. But we'll utilize, or tell customers, or show them how to utilize then the different transcoders to be able to then do that delivery. So this is kind of an example of what social media would be like, say, in Adobe Premiere. This is another option where you're just inside Premiere, you're using the eMAM panel to import media, add it to sequences and so on. And then upon export, you can also use the Adobe Media Encoder to then deliver to the different social media sites here. Behance and Facebook, TikTok, Vimeo, X, YouTube, and so on. So these options are available for you to directly then deliver to those accounts without having to download the file and then upload, open up your accounts and then upload. So each time you do your deliveries and then clicking on the different sites that you want to deliver to, of course, each of these you'd have to actually then sign in to each of your accounts and so on within Adobe, let's say in this case, and then be able to then log into the account and then upload the media directly with all the different metadata and tags and custom thumbnails and various things that you can do. So different platforms, again, all the different types. Again, you can use your different accounts and so on. This gets to a point where it's outside of the eMAM system, but there are different options that you have. But the nice thing is, if you're producing, storing, and you have non-technical users and so on, you can basically automate this process or make it very simple for them to then upload these, the media and the metadata to very specific locations on the social media sites as well. So this gets into a lot of detail. We can obviously work with you and clients and so on out there to be able to set all this up and make it very simple. But this gives you an idea, like if I'm in Adobe Premiere, for example, here, and then selecting to export my media that I have or my sequence that I have here, being able to then go in and say, in this case here, I would select like the YouTube account. And based on the YouTube account, again, I can go ahead and select, I can sign into the account, select which account I'm going to upload it to. And again, this information then is stored in the media encoder, Adobe Media Encoder. And then, of course, I can select which playlists I'm going to add this to, and description, privacy settings, different tags and various things, and so on. And it just makes life a little bit easier to be able to then, right from Adobe Premiere, being able to just upload any content that eMAM has available. And again, you can access all of the media that's inside of eMAM, import it into your Adobe Premiere project, and then process it this way to upload right into the YouTube account. So, all right, and then Facebook as well. So you do have the same option with Facebook in that. All right, I think we have reached the end here, Dave. Do we have any questions that we need to answer?
Sure. Yeah, wanted to remind everybody, put any questions you had in the window. One was the versions. So we are with our Vault. It doesn't come with all the delivery and sharing options, but Publish does. And then our next up in our product line, the Workgroup and Enterprise systems do as well. So that was one of the questions. Let's see if there's other questions here that we didn't answer. Yeah, and trying to, it looks like a lot of the other things were already answered in.
Okay. Yeah, it just depends on the different combos of the licenses that we have. Like for everything we've talked about, pretty much the most of the folks, they start with our eMAM Publish and go or up from there. And then the different workflows really also depend on which transcoder you also want to use there as well. So we can kind of work with you on which specific transcoders are best to work in the different situations you may have.
Sure. And then also for sharing with people, so if they're going to put comments and everything back in the system, they have to be an authorized user so we can track the comments, but you can send obviously email and social media out to anybody who's not a user of the eMAM system. And let's see, and to repeat, so we're going to have a recording of today's session. Happy to share that with folks. Any questions you have. We'll be at IBC right around the hall from Hall 7. We'll be in the passageway there, if that means anything to you. And then we'll be NAB New York and have some other online sessions and webinars and announcements coming out. We'll have a newsletter coming out quite soon to share with everybody. But yeah, any questions, let us know. You can hit our website, has our partners and our system integrator resellers worldwide. Happy to get on a call or see how we can help. But thanks for your interest today, and have a great day.